Hudson County View live at Uncut. I'm your host, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the women's pet, the men's regret, but what you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet. John Arhitis, of course, to talk the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. So, unfortunately, we have a lot of crime to talk about this week. I mean, the story that's got the most attention, I think, definitely has made some national headlines, is the beloved community charter school teacher, Luz Hernandez, a 33-year-old that was found at a shallow grave in Kearney, and her estranged husband and an accomplice are wanted by police. The estranged husband has been arrested. The other remains at large, so we're going to obviously talk about that. We're also going to talk about this rash of hit and runs in Jersey City. There was 5 recorded in just over 2 weeks. I believe that was 16 days. Of course, most of you have read about and watched the video of that car, that SUV, backing up into the popular Taqueria restaurant in downtown Jersey City. So that's obviously something that you don't see every day. We're also going to talk a little bit about what happened downtown by those 2 middle schools. This one father was arrested with a gun, and then this one mother allegedly had a taser. So that's another wild scene we're going to talk about. We also have a bit of breaking news here out of North Hudson over in West New York. Former Mayor Felix Roque, who you guys know, announced that he would be running, seeking a 4th term just under a month ago. He's now saying that he's withdrawing his candidacy to help the people of Cuba. So that one literally hot off the presses. We're going to talk about that a bit as well. And today, we're also going to discuss things like the new rent control measure, the Union Dry Dock, some street improvements, and a whole lot more with Hudson County Commissioner Anthony Romano, who's also the vice chair of the board. So all that and probably a little bit more right after this word from our sponsors.
Jersey City Ford Certified Parts and Service, located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, today I'm joined by Hudson County Commissioner Anthony "Stick" Romano, who's the vice chairman of the board. Stick, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure, John. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
Happy Valentine's Day to you and your wife.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day, Stick. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the county. First, you guys are doing street improvements. I know you're working on some things by Washington Park. I know you've, of course, made some improvements in Hoboken.
We're working on something now in Columbus Park, all new lighting. We just upgraded the whole Wi-Fi and connecting it to the 14th Street under the Viaduct Park area also. And in Washington Park, we have ongoing improvements to the play areas and all.
Okay. And this is mostly grant funding, right? This isn't at the taxpayer's expense, correct?
Right. A lot of it is through grant funding and that money that's set aside. Some things are from Open Space Trust, other things from other grants, and continually maintaining and upgrading so that the cost of repair isn't that big. So it's this annual thing. It's a very important aspect of Tom DeGeese's legacy. He's always been wanting to keep the Hudson County parks to be very beautiful.
All right, so you're running on a ticket for re-election this June in the primary with Craig Guy, who's of course Tom's chief of staff, and now he's going to be the candidate for county executive. So, obviously, then your senator candidate was going to be Raj Mukherjee, the assemblyman, and then you got John Allen and Jessica Ramirez. So just tell us how you feel about being on that ticket and having the HCDO support.
I think through Craig Guy, I know many, many years, over 30 years, as a police officer. Got to know him. He's a Jersey City born and raised. He's a good police officer and a good supervisor in the Jersey City PD. And then he became Deputy Chief of Staff, and then Chief of Staff upon Bill Gorhan's passing. And he's basically trained in what needs to be done. And the most important aspect is, I think, to make sure that all the mayors are satisfied with budgetary concerns and any other issues concerning the county. And I think Greg has a good handle on that, ability to work with the sheriff. And let's face it, it's going to be big shoes to fill. Tom DeGise has left a great legacy, and mostly of being such an honest person and a man of integrity. So it's going to be exciting. Raj, I know Raj a long time. I think Raj is going to do a great job. We work closely together, Raj and I. You have newcomers there, John Allen and Jessica. I got to know John Allen through Hoboken, and Jessica I just recently met. And it's going to add, I think, a lot of spice and hopefully energy, good positive energy to help our constituents and our residents here in this area, in this district.
All right, so specifically about you, now this would be what, your 5th term?
Is it my fourth or fifth? One of them.
All right. Now, why do you want to run again, and why do you think the people of downtown Jersey City and Hoboken should give you a shot at the ballot here?
Well, I like to think first and foremost accessibility. I listen to my constituents, try to work with them, not just election time. I feel that I'm there 365 days a year. If they know they need me, they're able to call me. I can't come through with everything that's requested or asked of me, but at least I can give an honest answer, and I try. I enjoy working with my fellow commissioners and with the different levels of government. For example, with the federal government, as of yesterday, with Senator Menendez and Congressman Menendez with the Ukrainian issue. We have our local mayors, with Mayor Bala and with Mayor Stack, and now with always with Mayor Fulop also. And it's exciting times. This county is growing, and it's the most diverse county, I feel, if not the most diverse in the United States, one of them. And it's just a wonderful experience to work with so many different cultures, and to work with so many different people, and then to also be involved with the law enforcement aspect. We have a great sheriff in Hudson County, and Sheriff Shalary, and the Corrections Department also, which is changing its mission from not only incarceration but rehabilitation. So, and then our college system, the Hudson County Community College, which I serve on the board, our Hudson County Schools of Technology, constant improvement to the roads for Vision Zero, the safety for pedestrians and bicyclists, who are now growing at a growing pace in this county. So there's a lot of different issues, and it's exciting. It keeps my energy going.
All right, yeah, you seem excited about it. So now your primary opponent, he has obviously had some criticisms here and there, and one of the things that he said is that you're only accessible to the political elite, so to speak, and you forget about the little guy until it's election time. So what's your thought on that?
Well, I would just say go down into the federal housing area and ask them if they know me. I mean, the last couple nights I've spent down there. The senior citizens are very important to me, and those in the housing area are very important to me. Constantly, any events that go on, we do toy giveaways. I help with the toys. We gave out turkeys. They mostly in the poorer areas of people that need them. So I think that's such an invalid accusation. I just let my record speak for itself.
Very good. So now, we know that the current chairman, Anthony Veneri, is going to be seeking municipal office this time around, so he's not going to seek re-election on the county level. You're the vice chair, so do you think, in the event that he wins on the municipal level, do you think you will be the chair after that? Is that the plan?
Well, I would hope to aspire to that position with the obvious blessing of my colleagues, my fellow commissioners, and the blessings of the mayors. Because in that position I'm going to be dealing with all the mayors, and I would definitely seek their approval and the support of my fellow commissioners.
Very good. Stick, don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere either. We're just going to take a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies.
I have 3.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a refer a friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John Arhitis, and I'm still here with Hudson County Commissioner Anthony Stick Romano, the Vice Chairman of the Board. So did you have any closing thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say also, even through the redistricting, I lost some of the Heights. I am not going to ever stop helping those in the Heights, continue to sponsor teams in the Pershing Field League, the Washington Park League, and the annual fall softball girls tournament I do in my father's name, because that is an area that a lot of people don't realize. It's an affluent area one part, and it's a poor area another part, and it gives me very much a joy and pleasure to work with those children and their parents who've always supported me, so I'm never going to turn my back on that, and at the same time I look forward to a new challenge, those in the downtown districts that I have now also. Okay,
so now you've been at you've been at downtown Jersey City quite a bit. We've seen you at the past few council meetings. You're speaking in favor of these Portside Towers advocates and a few other buildings there as well, but mostly Portside. And you're telling the city, the council, and the administration to enforce those rent control rules on the books. So why did you decide to get involved here?
Well, when the issue was brought to my attention, I have the pleasure of working with Councilman Youssef Saleh, and Youssef is concerned and brought it to my attention. And when you hear the passions and the pleas of those residents, it resonates with you. And all they're asking is for it to be fair. You don't want to push the middle class completely out of Jersey City, and they're just asking for a fair and open dialogue with the city with regard to the rent control law and their enforcement. So, hopefully that this situation can somehow be met where everyone, comes to some kind of compromise where the residents are not just overburdened with incessant increases, but, that are fair according to the law.
So maybe an hour after you took the podium last week, your primary opponent did, and as well, and he made this claim that you and Mayor Fulop were asleep at the wheel, and that's part of the reason we're in this mess now. So what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I have nothing to do with a municipal issue, number one. And number two, it only came to my attention now because of the fact that I'm now representing that area. So, again, another invalid accusation.
All right.
As soon as I found out about it, I got involved.
Okay, so coincidentally, in Hoboken now, they just passed this rent control ordinance, and a lot of people are expecting a referendum, as I'm sure you remember they did in 2011. Now,
is it that long already?
Yeah, it's been a while. But so, look, this is obviously a situation where we heard a lot of people publicly speaking against the ordinance. The council majority felt like this was the way to go. The administration felt this was the way to go. What do you think about this development here?
Well, kind of ironic, right, to see both the some of the tenant advocates with the landlords. I think the most important aspect here is, again, trying to find a way where there's some kind of fairness and compromise to everyone. And I think that the mayor is going to be looking to maybe tweak the ordinance, and you know, I mean, he's hearing some of the different complaints about it, and I think that it was done with the thought in mind to protect the tenants, and at the same time understand the situation for the landlords, to, you know, make sure that they can get some kind of fairness out of it. So I think that's the hardest part about it. But I think his ability and the council's ability before they finalize it to be able to tweak it where at least there was some semblance of satisfaction on all the parties involved.
Well, they approved the second reading, so now it's just a matter if we actually do go to the referendum or not. But do you support what they approved?
Which aspect, John?
The rent control ordinance.
Well, certain aspects, I think, that was done to protect the tenant. For example, bringing it down to the 5%.
Right.
As opposed to was
7.5%.
And then there was some areas at the same time you want to make sure that you know, that the raises that you're going to incur are fair. And I think fairness, again, is the most important aspect of this ordinance. So I'd like to see, you know, read it over again and see what possible comments, for example, that you had Ms. Fallick, I think, spoke on it, and as a tenant, and then you had, was it Joe Covello who spoke on it for the landlords? You know, and you know, get a vibe, and then work with the mayor to come to a hopefully equitable solution.
Okay. Now, real quick, obviously you guys have a new colleague in public safety. You have Marcy Rubin, who's of course from News 12 fame, and it's kind of an opportune time, right? Like, this was just that investigation. There was those arrests made from that October fight outside of Green Rock. You know, there was just like some kind of indecent exposure arrest. Actually, I guess that was more like a sexual assault. So there's been some crime in Hoboken, not to the same kind of crime that's been in Jersey City. So just your thoughts on that hire and the public safety situation in Hoboken.
Well, as you know, I'm also involved part-time in Hoboken with regards to public safety.
Right.
As a deputy director. And I think that the mayor's one of his priorities is public safety. And we're trying to fill the open positions for the police department, and it's frustrating. The civil service list was very small, and then as you weed through it, through all the different tests that take place, it even gets smaller. And right now we're hoping to, we just added 3 the other day, to all specials, 2 from Union City, 1 from Hackensack, to try to bolster the force. And as you know, if what was put out there, that some officers have left the department for some reasons, disciplinary, and others at normal retirement. Come March 1st, we lose between 8 and 10 people to normal retirements also.
Okay.
And I think Marcy Rubin was brought on board to do a unified public information office with regards to the police, the fire, EMS, and OEM. So this way that there's no confusion, and it's a unified message when something is put out daily. And Marcy is very capable, very professional. I know Marcy for many years, and I think she's going to do an outstanding job. And she also is going to be working with Marilyn Bear, right, from the city, who you know well. And Marilyn also very professional and does a great job.
I mean, I know them both well. I would agree with you. They both do a great job. But do you really think Hoboken needs a spokesperson for this when Jersey City, Newark, Patterson, they don't have that?
Well, I guess from the mayor's perspective, he felt that he needed it and wanted it done. I think that it was also a part of the fact that there was getting, what messages were coming out sometimes confusing or after a fact, and he wanted any kind of confusion to stop. And I thought that he thinks that this is the best way to do it. And you know, we'll see what happens. But I think that Marcy will do a good job. And as time goes on, to a lesser degree, Hoboken, but there's constant information that the people want, and it needs to be filtered and to get out there in a timely fashion. And I think that's one of the keys why Marcy was put there.
Commissioner, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good.
Not everyone celebrates the birth of a baby. You have options. Don't panic. New Jersey has safe havens for unwanted infants. Leave the baby with staff at any hospital, ER, police or fire station, or rescue squad. Call the number on your screen for Safe Haven locations or go to www.njsafehaven.org. No shame, no blame, no names. Safe Haven.
This thing rips! Oh, it is so quick. There's a lot of punch packed into this Bronco Sport. It's got a ton of horsepower. I love it. All right, now we're getting hairy. Now we're getting the fun stuff. Yeah. I like how we can get over or around almost anything.
Yeah, I dig your ride. I super dig it. It's gonna be a good day.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Introducing the all-new Ford Maverick. A truck for people who do stuff. And people who make stuff. People like Gabrielle Union.
I make this look good, don't I?
Who haul whatever they want to wherever they want. Like wood to build things made of wood with. And friends to get weird with. It's for long trips that the standard hybrid engine with a targeted EPA estimated city fuel economy rating of 40 miles per gallon helps with. That an 8-inch touchscreen connects with. And any trip that this interior makes more comfortable. But we'll let Gabrielle tell you all about it.
Or I could just tell them it's a Ford truck that starts at less than $20,000 MSRP.
Yep, that works too. The all-new Ford Maverick, built to defy expectations.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So as I mentioned at the top of the program, we have a bit of breaking news out of North Hudson, specifically out of West New York. And that's former West New York Mayor Felix Roque, who announced at Las Palmas on January 19th that he'd be seeking a third term, the fourth time he'd be seeking office. He is now withdrawn from the race. So he gave a letter to Hudson County View, and I'll just read you a portion here. It is with a heavy heart that I announce my withdrawal from the upcoming municipal election for the position of mayor of the town of West New York. As a doctor and a retired U.S. Army officer, I have always been passionate about serving my country and helping people. This, coupled with my desire to bring freedom to the Cuban people, has led me to the difficult decision to refocus my efforts. Although I believe that I could have made a positive impact as your mayor, I have come to the realization that there are far better ways for me to use my talents and abilities. Therefore, I have decided to pursue my dreams of helping the people of my community and my country, Cuba, in different ways. So, obviously, this is an interesting development. A lot of people, myself certainly included, were looking forward to this three-way dance between Roque, another former mayor, and Albio Series. Of course, many of you know him as the former congressman in the 8th Congressional District, and he was also an Assembly Speaker. And he's still going to be taking on Public Affairs Commissioner Cosmo Cirillo, who announced his candidacy back in December. We've known both their tickets for about a month now, give or take. And, certainly they've been hitting the campaign trail hard. There's a few weeks before the filing deadline for the nonpartisan May 9th municipal elections, but we're at under a month at this point. It seems unlikely you're going to see a full-fledged third ticket for him now. Roque, when he announced on January 19th, we talked about two running mates at that time, former Policemen's Benevolent Association President Tommy Mannion. You also had real estate professional Carmen Baez, who was a relative newcomer. You also heard that his fourth candidate would be police officer Elvis Alvarez, who planned on retiring prior to the election, but at this moment is still an active officer. Roque's messaging for those weeks that he was a declared candidate was about improving public safety and was heavy about, bringing those crime numbers down. Obviously, that's all for naught now, and he's out of the race, and it looks like we're most likely on a head-to-head contest again, looking like Cirillo against Series over in West New York. Obviously, we're going to keep our eyes on the filings, and if anyone else jumps in or drops out, we're going to let you know at a moment's notice if we can. So, completely switching gears, let's talk a little bit about Luz Hernandez. Obviously, this is an extremely unfortunate situation, to put it mildly. Again, she's a 33-year-old who was a kindergarten teacher at the beloved community charter school. And this is someone very, very sadly, I can't emphasize how just horrific this story is. But, her remains were found at a shallow grave in Kearney. And there's a lot of wrinkles to this, but we saw on Thursday that her ex-partner, who's her estranged husband, his name is Cesar Santana, was arrested in Miami by the U.S. Marshals. This was after the case was ruled a homicide. And he has been charged with desecrating human remains, as has an accomplice. Now, this is really interesting because this is the first time that we've heard that more than one person could be involved. Now, the accomplice is leader Miranda Lopez, and he's actually 26 years old. They're both from Jersey City. Santana's 36. They're each charged with one count of desecrating and concealing human remains. And for the moment, the accomplice, as we know him at this moment, leader Miranda Lopez, is still at large. And, if anyone has any information whatsoever about his whereabouts, we're urging you to call the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office. That's 201-915-1345. One more time, 201-915-1345. So, this is a very unusual situation. And as I said quite a few times, it's a very sad one too. But what's interesting, I guess I use the term loosely here, but Santana and his accomplice, they were pulled over right in the area in Kearney where Santana was found buried about a few hours before she was declared a missing person. So obviously it looks like this was something that they had been plotting for at least a few days, if not a few weeks or a few months. But, this is something, again, that's got national attention. We've heard about this on NBC, on ABC, Pix 11. A lot of people have picked this up, News 12. And, the list probably goes on beyond that, too. So there is a GoFundMe page. I posted it several times on my website, on my social media. But her family is trying to do something for her 3 children. And they had raised over $34,000 as of yesterday morning. They set a goal of about $50,000. I'm sure they're pretty close to it now. I haven't looked at the past 24 hours, but that's what we got there. So we're going to keep you up to speed on that. We're also going to talk about, some less serious crime in Jersey City. And with that is the hit and runs. We heard this hit and run that was on Communipaw Avenue and John F. Kennedy Boulevard on Friday evening. And then the following night, there was this incident where a car actually backed into the Taqueria downtown. So really just, I don't even know what to call it. I guess we'll say it's an unusual turn of events here. But in either case, neither incident has led to an arrest. And an interesting thing about the Taqueria incident, which you guys probably saw a video from HUD Post about that, where you could actually see the driver backing into the building, and then you see a passenger running away. Really, really shocking stuff. But the interesting thing is it looks like this all started from a fight inside the bar, and it escalated after a man was not served because he didn't make it in time for last call. So just a strange situation that is under investigation. So when an arrest is made, we will certainly tell you as soon as humanly possible. So we're going to take one more break. We're going to be right back.
50 around front, please.
We designed the F-150 to be tough. And we delivered on towing and payload like you'd expect. We also made it smart, starting with an available hybrid powertrain. This engine also allows you to use your truck as a high wattage generator. It's the kind of capability that a truck owner's really never had before.
The Ford Maverick is a smaller truck, but the available 2.0-liter EcoBoost engine has plenty of horsepower and torque and allows you to tow all kinds of stuff. And if you need to take the Maverick out past city limits, there's select drive modes to take on different terrains, as well as the FX4 off-road package with all-wheel drive.
Hudson County View live on Uncut, John Arhitis. So another one that happened downtown that was pretty unusual was you had 3 parents arrested, one allegedly had a taser and one allegedly had a handgun. There was some sort of dispute that occurred between the children of these 2 families. on Friday, and then on Monday morning, this escalated, and it actually led to some shouting, and apparently there was a physical confrontation of sorts, and 2 of the 3 people ended up having weapons. So just a very, very unique set of circumstances, to put it mildly. So yesterday at 8:30 a.m., Jersey City Police responded to 111 Bright Street. Many of you know that's the address of the Frank R. Conwell Public School. Some people just call it PS number 3. And there was a call of a fight. 2 women were arrested for simple assault. As I mentioned, one who allegedly had a taser. And a father allegedly showed a handgun at this time, but he was not on the scene by the time police arrived. He ended up being found in Hoboken and got hit with a slew of charges, including causing or risking widespread injury or damage, aggravated assault, possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose, unlawful possession of a weapon, endangering the welfare of children, and possessing a firearm at an educational institution. So, fortunately, no serious injuries, and this remains under investigation. And as of yesterday, there was an increased police presence. So, and of course, you probably heard, but just in case, there were lockdowns at PS3 and Frank R. Conwell Middle School number 4, which are, just a couple 100 feet away from each other. Of course, those were lifted after the arrests were made. Now, finally, let's talk a little bit about Senator Menendez having a 1-year commemoration of the Ukraine war. Obviously, that was February 24th of 2022 when the Russian invasion happened. And the senator had some really strong remarks from Vladimir Putin. Obviously, there's no love lost between those two, but he really put all the cards on the table, in my opinion. He said Vladimir Putin, in his fantasy of restoring the Soviet Union empire, decided that Ukraine should be part of Russia. He decides to deny Ukraine's own unique history. He's recruited Russian criminals to fight in his army. He's unleashed wave after wave of missile attacks targeting civilians and critical infrastructure. He has committed unspeakable war crimes. He's forced more than 8 million Ukrainians to flee their country and seek refuge. The Ukrainian spirit has not been broken. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a week. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.